everyone. Welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're doing the weekly for the sign of Sagittarius. This is going to be for September 1st to the 7th. Do apologize for the late release of this video, but I had to catch up with the monthly love readings, which are up now as well. Alright guys, Sagittarius, we're going to get right into it. Retreat. This has come out for a couple of signs this week. We have engagement. Ooh. And we also have let go of control issues. Sagittarius, let go of control issues has been coming out for you for a couple of weeks now. Either in the soulmate reading or the weeklies or the monthly reading. Somewhere this energy keeps coming out. It's quite interesting. And of course it basically says allow a situation to unfold naturally, right? So sometimes control issues, letting go of control issues can also mean, doesn't necessarily mean that you're being a control freak, Sagittarius, but it can mean to, just as it says, just let the situation kind of unfold naturally. Don't get ahead of yourself. Don't get too anxious or too worried. Just let it kind of unfold, and it will unfold the way it should. All right? Let's get into your animal spirits for the week, Sagittarius. You may or may not resonate with these animal spirits or a portion of them. They may or may not be representative of people you're dealing with in your private life, your love life, or at work, your social life, or your family. But whatever the case may be, just take what resonates for you and throw the rest away. All right, guys, let's get right into it. We have the first one out is the turtle. Beautiful water energy. Earthworm, wow, there's a newness there, right? Earthworm talks about a new beginning, being very unsure of yourself, right? Scared. And the owl's been coming out for you as well for these last couple of weeks. So let's briefly look at these animal spirits from the point of view of what they may be bringing into your life, right? Again, like I said, animal spirits, there's portions of them that you may resonate with. Sometimes they indicate a certain stage in your life, or they can indicate identifying with a certain attribute, right, or characteristic. But when we talk about turtle energy, right away, we're talking about a water elemental creature. That's the alchemical symbol for water at the top. It's an ancient soul. The turtle is a very old and ancient animal. In all religions, it really is the symbol of wisdom, trusting, being at home with yourself. And so the turtle is considered the old soul person, right? And like the beaver, the turtle has a really strong relationship with the earth and the water because it can kind of survive in both areas in the same way. This is what helps ground people, or helps ground the turtle. So the turtle talks about grounding in sort of your life, right? When you find grounding in the deeper truths of life, or when you're able to kind of go through particular situations or scenarios in your life, right? And you're able to stay grounded. You don't get like carried away. The turtle is also the animal for writers and storytellers, because oftentimes writers and storytellers are able to experience something really fantastic, but they're able to remain grounded. They have to, because they have to be able to tell the story later on. And so the turtle brings an enormous amount of strength and sort of support when you're going through periods that can be quite jarring, right? Disturbing. You know, it can be, you know, they run the gamut, but it's periods in your life where you just really need to be grounded in a sense that you don't want to lose your mind. You don't want to descend into despair. Things are happening very quickly. You don't want to be overwhelmed, right? It can indicate it's good. It's very positive energy, and it means that whatever you're going through now, no matter how transformative it is, you are going to get through it with a very grounded sense. The earthworm indicates a newness as well. So this is quite interesting. This birthing of a very creative process is what's indicated with the earthworm. It can be associated with a little bit of not trusting yourself, right? Being shy, being unsure. Not necessarily low self-esteem, but lacking in confidence because you're very new at something, or maybe you're starting a very new project. You could be coming into a really new stage in your life, and it could be very kind of, I want to say, anxious for you, right? You could be feeling very anxious. You could be feeling this kind of lack of self-confidence at times that you're going to make it in this new area. It's perfect combination with the turtle, because the earthworm is earth energy, the turtle is water energy, but the turtle comes in to bring some groundedness in a way to the earthworm. Even though the earthworm is earth energy, the turtle kind of buoys it up, you know, strengthens it in a way, because the earthworm is feeling new and out of its sort of element. Then we have the owl coming in, and in all cultures, the owl, of course, is representative of bounty and blessings, wisdom, abundance coming in. This can be physical, material abundance, as well as spiritual enlightenment. The owl represents abundance in both areas, on a spiritual plane and as well on the material plane. The owl indicates a sense of wisdom also that comes with this sort of blessing that allows you to make the most of it. So it's a really beautiful card. It can indicate a time in your life where you're going to make the most of all of the kind of fortune that's coming in, right? You won't squander it. You've learned a lot of lessons along the way. So this is kind of the perfect time, Sagittarius, in your life for rewards and blessings and abundance to come in. Also, a perfect time for turtle energy because, again, to keep you grounded at a time when you may indeed experience a rapid increase in your abundance or in your finances. The owl can certainly indicate the heralding in of a lot of physical status and physical wealth and support in the form of either money or just being able to sustain yourself somehow, right? Even if it isn't exactly cash, somehow it comes in, the sustaining of a higher level of status, right? It could be that maybe for some of you, for instance, an example would be marrying someone who's very wealthy, and although you don't have actually the cash in your hand, all of a sudden now you're living this really, really kind of rich lifestyle. So that's what I'm kind of talking about. That could be an example of owl energy coming in as well. All right, guys, let's get straight into your forecast for the week. I'm going to pull out about 6 or 8 3-card spreads just to see what you may be going through this week, my lovely Sagittarius brothers and sisters. All right, we got right out the gate, the first spread, we have Page of Swords, the Sun, and Emperor. So some of you are going to have conversation or a meeting, a communication with someone this week who can really increase your capacity for wealth. It can increase or it can help you progress through your career. This person is an Emperor energy. But you come in contact with somebody like this. This is a very fiery individual, certainly a leader, someone who's quite influential and knows what they're doing in their field, right? So whatever field you're in, I feel like this week you're going to come across this person, have some kind of conversation. This is indicated by the Page of Swords. It could be just a meeting or communication online, right? But whatever reason, this week, everything kind of aligns for you two to come together and to have a very specific conversation or communication between each other. And it's going to bring a lot of clarity to a particular situation for you, Sagittarius. It could be a situation at work or in your business, but it's going to be something to do with what you're actively involved with right now in terms of making your money, right? So it'll certainly be in the area of your career. 10 of Wands, 3 of Cups, and Queen of Pentacles. Some of you are certainly coming out of a very difficult period where you may have not been socializing very much. You may have been keeping yourself kind of hidden away. You've been really shouldering a lot of burdens and responsibilities as well during this period. You're coming out of this period. You're ready to lay down these burdens. You're ready to lay down these wands. You could have been taking care of someone, you know. You could have been taking care of children or someone who's vulnerable. You could have been dealing with a certain stage in your life that you just had to complete. But it was a burden. It took a lot of energy. You probably had to sacrifice a lot of your own kind of dreams and goals to shoulder this. But whatever the case may be, this could also sometimes be just being burdened by toxic thoughts and ideas, low self-esteem, you know what I mean? The fallout of traumatic experiences or relationships. They can also translate into these kind of burdens that we carry, or this baggage that we carry around. And while we carry this baggage, we're kind of blind to where we're going, what we're doing. So you come to the end of that, which is 10 of Wands, and you're ready to lay them down. And you start to socialize a lot more. I think this week you're going to come together probably with some friends that you may not have seen for a while as you were going through this period. It's a 3 of Cups, so you have a bonding experience with like-minded individuals. And again, there's a Queen of Pentacles feeling. So it could be as well, Sagittarius, that you feel quite a sense of relief. You kind of come out of this 10 of Wands nicely placed here with a kind of boost to your self-esteem, a kind of boost to your physical well-being. You get a bit of an increase to kind of like how you're living. It could be that here you gave up a lot because of expenses and costs and things like that. But as you lay down this burden, you come into a better kind of sense of living for yourself. Your abundance raises just a little bit, and you feel kind of like you are right where you're supposed to be. All right. This is really a week of celebration for some of you. 9 of Swords, Hierophant, and 7 of Wands. Some of you have a lot of anxiety about a commitment. Some of you have a lot of anxiety about a commitment that you're making, and you're not sure if it's the right commitment. You're worried if you make this commitment or you take this engagement. We have engagement, which talks about raising your commitment in a relationship. You have a lot of anxieties. I think that if you take this commitment, you're going to be fighting a lot. It's not going to be an easy road. I think that you feel like you're the only one fighting for this commitment. It could be that somebody is wanting a relationship with you to become more committed, but you feel as though they're really not in it, or they really don't mean it. You may feel as though you're the only one who's kind of fighting for this level of commitment or this engagement. It could also be that you have a lot of anxiety that if you come together with this person, if you commit to this person or even marry this person, that the two of you are going to have a lot of battles on your hands with this 7 of Wands. This battle could be internally and within your relationship, or it could also be the two of you kind of battling the outside world. I can't really get a sense of which it is. I think it may even be a little bit of both, because you have a lot of anxiety here. I don't feel a lot of love here, though. I just feel a lot of anxiety from this 9 of Wands. And I'm going to say that this is, for some of you, I think this may very well be a toxic relationship, and you're being kind of pushed into a marriage or commitment, and you're scared to death because you know that if you make this commitment, you will never get out of this relationship. You know, you have a window of opportunity to leave now. But if you get into this, if you make this commitment with this person, it's almost like you'll never get out of it, and your life will continue to be a struggle. King of Wands, the World, and 7 of Swords. Wow, Sagittarius. So some of you ascend to a level of influence. You kind of take your rightful place as the leader in a group. This could be at work. This could also be just in your life, in a sense that you're back at the helm of your life. You could have been going through some really rocky periods as of late, but now you're kind of back in charge of the narrative of your life. You know what I mean? There's been a transformative period. That's all well behind you. However, this period now is this period of really ascending into this kind of position for your life, right? And you feel exactly like you're where you're supposed to be. The World card comes in because these are moments where you feel like you're doing absolutely what you should be doing. You're full of confidence. You understand how you got to this point. So there's also a level of self-realization when the World card comes in. You begin to understand that even the tragedies and traumas of the past were necessary to get you to where you are today. And so this self-realization is a form of kind of also vibrating a little bit higher, but increasing your intuitive abilities and increasing your self-confidence, because now when you see how everything in your life led up to this point, you can go back and start to apply your experience to your intuitive abilities. This is how you increase your wisdom and your intuition, by integrating your experiences, right? Now that you are so many years later and you're seeing how it all translated, when you're honest with yourself about how you got here, these are the things that allow us to be able to understand and see other roads that other people have traveled, right? So this is all part of a very intricate pattern of increasing self-confidence, increasing intuitive abilities, right? And so you feel really good with all of this. However, you have a 7 of Wands coming up. So that's quite interesting. This is usually someone who's in your life who's very close to you. I call this my great dream thief. This is someone who wants what they want. They want their goal or their dream so badly, but they don't want to work for it. They don't want to take the time to get it the right way. They cut corners. They're very hasty. They're not unwilling to use underhanded means to get what they want. Anything and everything to get it in haste. Oftentimes this can also be someone close to you who is envious of you and tries to kind of take the wind out of your sails, right? This can often be someone who causes turmoil in your life, but it's all very behind the scenes kind of energy. You wouldn't really believe that this type of person is up to this type of thing. This is almost earthwormy energy in a way, because it's coming from a place of self-doubt and insecurity, you know? So it's almost like the worst version of earthworm energy taken to its fullest, you know? When you're that insecure and you have that low self-esteem, you're willing to do all kinds of things to other people to bring them down as well. So just take care, Sagittarius. Some of you are experiencing this, and you're going to find out that this is someone very close to you. 6 of Cups, Ace of Cups, and 4 of Swords. Wow. Some of you have absolutely fallen in love with your soulmate, and you are ready to take this to another level. Some of you have been close friends with someone that has now, the relationship has now erupted into like a full bloom of love. You're just absolutely in love with them. 6 of Cups can indicate a long-term relationship that is very fond, that is quite, I want to say, affectionate, loving, right? This can be a deep friendship as well. This doesn't always have to be romantic, but it is indicative of soulmate energy. Soulmates can also just be friends too, but the affection is there. We're not talking about sex. We're talking about love and affection here, which you can have with friends and lovers alike. So there's a deep connection here, but this has now bloomed and gone into full and out love, outpouring of love, the kind of love that you want in a relationship, in a long-term relationship, the kind of love that you want to openly exchange with someone. It's not just affection now, it is full bloom. And this week you're kind of being very cagey, and you're calling a truce, retreating to your corner because you're not really sure what the next step is, honestly. And you're letting go of control issues by taking a step back, which is very good, Sagittarius, all right? Just take a step back and see how it unfolds, because all of this emotion this week has really got you kind of rattled. Certainly this 4 of Swords indicates a grounding, so that's turtle energy coming in. 4 of Cups, Knight of Wands, and 3 of Wands. So, okay. Some of you are being offered a cup of love and you don't want it. It could be that you're offering a cup of love to someone and they don't want it, okay? The 4 of Cups can indicate someone coming in And you're just not sure, or you're just not satisfied with what they're offering you. I want to say that this is coming into you, Sagittarius, quite honestly, right? But you're feeling very much kind of on your path, right? You're kind of, I want to say that you're resonating with Knight of Wands energy because you are kind of really on a trajectory right now to attain your goals and your dreams, your passion for yourself. This could certainly be a venture or business or something like that that you're trying to manifest, that you're trying to accomplish. This cup coming in is of no consequence to you. You really almost don't have any time to acknowledge it. Okay, this person is not able to move as fast as you are. Now, it could be that they're coming in because they're seeing you at a moment where you're kind of in pause, because this is Three of Wands coming up here. So Three of Wands indicates that although you're on this trajectory, right now you're kind of in a stasis where you're having to see the lay of the land. You're being forced to be patient because of outside factors, right? You're having to sort of remain strong, remain virtuous, and on, intentional on your objective, right? And not be sidetracked just because you're standing still. Sometimes you just have to stand still, exercise patience, see the lay of the land, because you just can't go forward, right? Whatever your passion is, sometimes you have to wait for other things to come in line. And so this is very much where your head is. And this cup of love that's coming in from somebody is just not making a dent on you. You're just not able to pay attention to it. It may be that somebody really has their feelings hurt as a result. But unfortunately, you are fairly fixed with your eyes forward to the future. All right, guys? Yeah, so this is the weekly for Sagittarius for September 1st to the 7th. I'm going to call it, guys. If you resonated with any of these spreads, or you can relate to these animal spirits or romance angel messages, please like, subscribe, and share. Go ahead and comment below. Share your experience with Bow and Arrow Tarot. But for right now, Sagittarius, I love you. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye now.